What we can do is actually we can get you some of the curated stuff that we have on the platform.
Let's go.
We've got a bunch of very, very different set of products.
Oh, wow.
This is buttermilk made in our cafe.
Oh, wow. And are you kidding me? Fairlife? This isn't good. This is great. How do you collectively be like, okay, this is good enough to sell to people?
The first decision that we took at a platform level is that we banned 200 ingredients, right? What you would have seen in Whole Foods, some part of Trader Joe's, right? And these 200 ingredients don't need to be there in making a food.
You're basically making Indians more healthy. And that is like, if you're gonna leave a legacy, man, that's like, you're making people healthy. That's like one of the biggest things you can do for people.
The number of messages we've already received is like, oh my God, you know what? You made our life so good. You made our life so simpler. Now I don't need to worry about like what I'm feeding to the kids. It's so satisfying.
Hi, I'm Herschel Mehta, and this is Brendan Rogers. We're 2AM VC, and this is the making of an Indian entrepreneur, featuring co-founder CEO of FirstClub, Ayyappan.
In terms of to go into the FirstClub tagline, curated, slow, delivered fast. Did you come up with this? Did one of your amazing employees come up with this? How did this come about? And like, what does that represent in your words? And yeah, if you could share a little bit about that, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, we thought a lot. I mean, there were like weeks taken to figure out like what should be the right capture of what we stand for. Because we were very clear that, yes, of course, we were also building something on quick commerce, but everyone else was talking about like, you know what, I am a last minute app, I'm a 10-minute app, I'm like delivering 10 minutes. So everybody was bucketing themselves around delivery. We didn't want to focus on that because our ethos and what we wanted to stand for was curated high quality set of products. So what people typically find it very tough to get all of the good stuff at one place. That's what we wanted to deliver. But that happens also faster. The moment we explain to people that, hey, you know what, we are curating this is what we have, high quality stuff, all these products, brands, you don't have to go travel anywhere, you're just getting at one place. The next question that comes from them is like, oh, do you deliver tomorrow, right? Then we tell them like, hey, no, we are actually delivering in under 30 minutes.
Right.
So that tagline was super important. It was definitely not me, I'm not that creative. Anirudh, who spoke now, he was the one who came up with that tagline.
Wow.
And I think a very smart line because it just delivers very clearly and sharply like what we stand for. And at the same time, it says that we are delivering faster.
I love it. Maybe I'll get that tattooed on one of my arms at some point when the company...
we'll take you as brand ambassador.
When it goes public, I'll get it tattooed. So the idea of FirstClub, how did you think of this? How did you like? Was there an aha moment? Were you in the shower? Okay, let's build FirstClub. Were you playing cricket? Well, like, where did this come from?
Yeah, it's a combination. I wouldn't say that, hey, Eureka, this is what I need to do on one fine day. It was not that. I think I'm a huge believer. I think what Steve Jobs keeps saying, right? Like, you don't understand things when you look forward, right? You can connect the dots looking backward. So it's, I think, one of those things when it comes to this particular idea also, because a lot of these things has happened in silos. And then when I was very clear that I wanted to venture out and start something in the retail space, the idea came by itself. So to quote some of these things, one, firstly, I'm a huge believer of Costco as a model. I think it's, in the last 50 years, one of the most intelligent business models ever built, not just in retail, across space, because I can't think of many businesses who had such high levels of clarity when it came to saying like, this is my customer base, and I'm going to ensure they are the only customer base who would be there with me, right? Even if by choice somebody wants to come in, I'm going to sort of not make it easy. Right. And the way they were able to do it was like, you know what, there is a membership fee. Without that, you can't even enter the store.
Right.
And the moment that was done, it had a self-selection when it came to like what sort of products you would put it for them, because it was a homogeneous base. And this customer base wanted like, you know what, I want high quality stuff. I don't need several options. I just need few curated options. Right. And I think in US, it was widely prevalent that big box retail was common, and you could have put smaller set of items, but people were clear that the scale that you could get out of value as a play is amazing. and that value can come out of selling bulk packs.
Right.
And I think it's that brilliant insight of this is my customer base, curating high quality products and doing bulk packs. All of that came together. So Costco was that sort of a huge inspiration. I think Saul Price, right? Like I think is the father of modern retail, I would say.
Right.
Cut to the other piece in during a lot of family vacations, right? And whenever my kids used to go and taste very, very simple stuff, not even like, going into these expensive supermarkets or something, a very, very regular supermarket, when you go there out, they get nice stuff. Even, I wouldn't kid, the $1.5 McD softie that you get, they find, okay, oh my God, this is like creamy and it's a lot more richer, right? So you feel bad that, okay, when you come back to India, you don't get such stuff, right? So that has been happening and has always made me think like, why? Why not like such places available in India, or why not such products available in India? Then the third part being, if I look at, I think with respect to any space, if you want to spend, especially when it comes to starting up, you need to sort of be in a space where you know that there is like enough number of problem-solving statements that will keep you excited, because by nature I'm a very impatient guy. So I can get bored easily. I did like 5 different roles in Flipkart in 5 years. So it's sort of very tough to put me at one particular place. So I knew my pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
So I had to play to my strengths, and I knew that I had to pick a space which is sort of evolving, which is exciting, and there are like enough and more number of problem statements available. So that's when all of this came together. I realized like, okay, if I look at India for the next 10, 15 years, the Maslow's hierarchy, right? It can be applicable not just to individuals, but to the entire market as well. If you look at the market of India today, it's actually going from like, all those physiological needs are done. I've got the famous phrase in India is like roti kapda makan, right? So food, shelter, and safety.
Sure.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So that's my Hindi is bad. So these are like the basic tenets that last 20, 30 years Indians have been fighting for. Now we have crossed that stage. Last 10 years, people travel a lot. The awareness is so massive. The age group of like 20 to 30 is exploding like anything. And people don't have that saving mindset, but a lot more about spending mindset. So it was very clear that there needs to be a format, especially in retail, where you don't say that everything has to be price-led, but it has to be value-led, where you give actually good value, but a high-quality product available at a good price is what, then it made sense that, it's an obvious choice that this is the space that wanted to start up in. That's our first.
Yeah, and as being Indian origin, coming here every 2 years, growing up, from 2010 to 2020, the country rapidly changed, specifically in metro cities. I would visit Bombay, and what we saw was, not just a mindset shift, but the next generation, their affinity for high quality experiences have shifted. So the timing could not be better for this.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think if you try to do a FirstClub 10 years ago, it would have been, there would be certain challenges in a consumer mindset, but the timing is here now. Okay, Ayyappan, we saw that there's a job opening for a curation specialist, right? What exactly does this job do? And does it involve large tables of food? And if so, like, how do I apply for this job?
That's the most coveted job that we have. And I think that's what is the make or break when it comes to being what FirstClub is FirstClub. Because like I've spoken about, what we want to be known for is like, if I as a consumer want to do so much of research and talk to my friends, neighbors, in finding the best chocolates and the best cheese and the best rambutan and everything else, I don't want to do this. This is not my sort of day job, right? It would be amazing if somebody is able to do that for me and put all of that at one place. And that's what this curation specialist does. So we have a bunch of curation specialists in the org. And what they do is like day in and day out, they try a lot of products, they test a lot of products, they eat and drink a lot of products. And of course, we all join them as well. So that's the most looked forward to period in a day. We all behave like we didn't eat food for the last 2 days when we all see food and good food. So yeah, it's one of the amazing jobs we have. And in fact, what we can do is actually we can get you some of the curated stuff that we have on the platform, and it'll be amazing to watch your faces and see the experience and how good it is, even better than Costco.
Let's go.
Is there like I'm assuming there's like a process that there's like a roadmap, not a roadmap, but there's different processes in place from the curation specialist. Is there like someone else that then tries it? Like how do you collectively be like, okay, this is good enough to sell to people?
Yeah, good question. So firstly, what we have done is every retailer out there is going to say that, you know what, I sell high quality products. Nobody's going to say that, hey, you know what, I sell low quality products, right? So when it comes to food as a category, how do we sort of make that impact? And the first decision that we took at a platform level is that we banned 200 ingredients, right? What you would have seen in Whole Foods, some part of Trader Joe's, right? And these 200 ingredients don't need to be there in making a food, right? And that was step number one. Step number two, when we are clear, like this is the category that we're going to launch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is a bunch of good stuff. Yeah, I think it's a mix of good stuff, good that you can consume it directly. You don't need to cook. Yeah.
Right.
So the second step being, once we are clear that this is the category that we want to launch, we go deeper in understanding what makes this particular product special. If it comes to, for example, the dry fruits, the size of the dry fruit, the crispiness of it, how do we get that? So we get into the details of it. The discussion that you would see with any other retailer is like, how do I get the cheapest cashew? For us, it's not that. For us, it's like, how do we get the best quality cashew and how do we get it at a good price? So the second role that it plays is like, what makes that product special?
Yeah.
Third, which are the brands who are doing a good job with that? So we identify and understand them. Then we get all the samples. We do the testing in a lab to understand whether these products are actually good. The ingredients that what they claim to be put on the label is actually what it's present. And second, does it have any metal content? All of that. So it happens in the testing lab. Then we do the tasting part of it, both the in-house panel and we have an external consumer panel as well, who is a good mix of people who we think are our core customer base. And once they say that, you know what, we have tried 10 different brands of this particular product, these are the top 3 which are standing out. And that's how we go and list it. So this is the process.
Very detailed process, which, you know, you're putting food into people's mouths. It has to be tested and whatnot. But like in terms of, if we take a step back, I know we chatted off camera about some of the other products, but how do you identify a category to enter to even get products to be tested? Is that also like you have focus groups you bring in? Is that just through like just general knowledge of what you eat? Like how do you even choose what categories to enter into?
Yeah. So firstly, I think we know, I mean, a lot of us, the team which is building this and myself, all of us have been in retail for quite a long time. So we know when it comes to food, FMCG, grocery, these are the categories that we need to get into. But the sequence gets decided basis what is super important for the platform to acquire the customer initially. Because right now we are like super early. We are going through that evolution when it comes to building the platform. So the most important category first we chose was fruits and vegetables because we realized the quality of fruits and vegetables that you get in any other platform has been very, very subpar. So that was the first one. The second category was like, okay, as a consumer, I've come and tried the fruits and vegetables. Then what's the next big category where I think about like, hey, is it safe for my family? Is it good for my family to consume? So the second category becomes like your staples, which is your rice, atta, wheat, all of that. So here we focus both on the process of how it's made so that the nutrition is sort of intact. Because here in India, age-old practice has been like buying the wheat and then milling it at the local miller. And when it's fresh, it's supposed to be good. And that practice got lost when people sort of started living in a fast-paced environment and you need to go pick it up, whatever is available. So staples, we felt that journey should be brought back, going back to like sort of the old India, what India used to be known for when it comes to staples. So that's how the staples category came in. Then we knew that, okay, these are the two pantry filling categories which goes into every single household. Now we need to sort of build the impulse categories where people feel like, hey, you know what? It's not just the fruits and vegetables and staples, but there are like a lot of nice, good tasting products which are very impulsive to buy and which are good to taste. So that's where your snacks, beverages, cookies, chocolates, all of that came in. And unlike Western countries, a lot of the mass brands that are available in India, if you take chocolate as a category, the single biggest ingredient is not chocolate. the single biggest ingredient becomes sugar.
Sure.
So even the milk solids. So a lot of ingredients which are not supposed to be in making a chocolate comes into the chocolate because they wanted, the journey for these brands started with, I want to launch a 20 rupees chocolate, a 20-cent chocolate. It was not the other way around. Yeah. I need to give this quality product. Now, how do I bring it at a good price? So that's how the thought process changed. So we've got a bunch of very, very different set of products. So this is buttermilk made in our cafe, right? So this is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah. And since you're a fitness freak, you should try.
Come on, man. Are you kidding me?
Fairlife? Good?
This isn't good. This is great.
Okay, let's launch in US.
This is really good.
That's really
I
good.
don't know if I want to try this. This is. I don't know, man. Are you sure?
Try the matcha. Yeah, definitely.
That's really good.
I know.
That's like real chocolate.
That was delicious too. This matcha.
I ordered something like this on one of the other platforms, and it was like all chalky, and it was like a lot of it was just at the bottom. It wasn't that clean. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And it doesn't have any of the things that's not supposed to be in a food. So it doesn't have any artificial preservative. It doesn't have any artificial flavor. It's a real chocolate.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is just milk.
Yeah, it's just high protein milk. So if you want to make your smoothies for your coffee, for tea, yeah.
Is there a lot of caffeine in this, or not really?
No, this one.
This is the coffee one.
Yeah, even I don't know how much caffeine it has.
Nothing crazy.
Okay.
This is Indian milk.
Yeah.
Indian milk is the best milk.
Like the milk from the bag.
Yes, exactly. Brendan's fascinated because I've like cut the bag and given the milk. He's like, wait, why are you drinking milk like this? Like, what is this?
What exactly is it?
It's called Achumurukku, if I'm not wrong. Achappam. Yeah, it's called Achappam. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a papad.
It's like a papad, but a little bit sweeter. Yeah.
What's a popper?
You should. So it's not just the protein milk and the dry fruits and the juices and all of that, but it's the traditional Indian food, again made with good ingredients and with the oil that we have chosen. So it goes through the same filtration process, and then we list those products where the taste is also pretty good without compromising health.
Yeah, this is it's funny because like when I eat like chips in the US or like even the milks, it's so processed. And now tasting products that are like completely like way less processed, you can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah.
What was like the coolest brand that pitched you? What was their pitch like? How did you guys onboard them? Like, what stuck out to you as something unique that you guys were receptive to?
I think on a daily basis, we are like lucky enough to have several such brands. And the good thing is the last 5-6 years, a lot of new age brands have come in who focus a lot more on the quality, ingredient, good stuff, who are unconstrained in their thinking. So that's good. But to start with, firstly, we do a lot of pitching. We are still very early in our journey. So there's a lot of pitching that goes in to say that why they need to make a few products with us. Because for us, what we just don't do is like, hey, you know what, this is already available. Let's pick it up and then put it on the platform. We just don't do that. What we also do is that, hey, there is a space available here. It's a white space opportunity. And it might be a big brand. It might be a small brand. And I remember this is one of the very, very early set of products that we had created. It's from one of the brands, Akshay Kalpa. And Akshay Kalpa is like decently big in Bangalore. They make organic milk. And we had to pitch to them saying that, hey, you know what, we want it in a different packaging and we want it in a different product. And they were like, hey, the minimum order quantity is this. But it's nice of them to actually get convinced that we are building something very unique, very differentiated. So they took that bet with us and they launched it. So that goes on with every single brand and every single product, every single category, day in and day out. But some of the interesting products, I think even the Provilac, which one of the things that you tried, the founder is like very passionate about making good products. He doesn't want to list this in any other platform. And this comes from Pune. It gets shipped on a daily basis. So it's not like made in Bangalore and then goes there. So the cold chain gets managed. It comes from there. And we are working with the founder to create these unique products. He's also super obsessed about making such products. The matcha in thing, okay, let's create something out there. The high protein, the coffee flavor, let's go out there and make one. So that happens almost in every single product.
We've talked on nutrition, we've talked about trust, consistency. Now let's talk about speed. That's the other component of FirstClub. So why does it need to be quick? Like what are you guys noticing within the market, and can we talk about that aspect of it? Because it's curated, slow, delivered fast is the tagline. So let's talk about speed.
Yeah. So firstly, I think the market itself is evolving so rapidly in the last 3 years. Even people out there in e-commerce, I've been part of e-commerce for a long time, and we didn't guess that quick commerce would become so big, right? And in 3 years, the world has just changed. Today, I think, if I'm not wrong, more than 70% of the entire grocery e-commerce comes out of quick commerce, right? And who thought that this would happen? But in spite of all of that happening, India is a 1 trillion retail market. And out of that, if I'm not wrong, 600 billion is actually just grocery, right? And less than 1% is actually quick commerce. Look at the sort of the growth, that opportunity this has, right? It's crazy, right? And if you want to go and occupy that space, move fast, right? It's not just the space that you're operating in, but I think the way that we work itself is going to be super execution heavy, very rapid, very fast. And that's why I think we started working on this from January this year, and June we launched, and then we are live now with 5 stores. We raised our Series A recently. So you can look at the pace at which we are growing, and it's owing to the team, I think, who also have understood very clearly that speed is the name of the game, and they all love it, and we all love building this together very fast.
And it's interesting because the consumer has built habits around QCOM in their mind now, where they've been on these other platforms getting various products consistently over time. So now they've created this habit within themselves, where now if they don't get their products fast, they're like, I'm not using this. So it's like it's like speed or bleed, right? We say that all the time.
Yep.
And a lot of these, people don't want to wait anymore. People
right.
want to get a taxi like this. They want to just, everything's go, go, go. And your phone is like your remote control to your life. So it's really interesting to see how QCOM has really created habits within the Indian consumer's mind, and then rely on it, and they're dependent on it.
Yeah.
And in India, it works. Is this like that delight that you feel here when you use some Q-commerce, when you're experiencing that? You don't see it anywhere else. Yeah. It's like very, very Indian. It's very unique. It's special. Both Brendan and I, every time we come here, we're delighted when we use these digital platforms, and it's like, it feels good.
And it's the beginning of a new wave of just commerce and user behavior that I think will spawn many other types of businesses in many different sectors.
The theme is, I think, one is speed. I think if you go deeply into the consumer psyche out there, life used to be very planned, right? 5 years back, 10 years back, you need to plan. You need to plan for a cab. You need to plan for the grocery. You need to plan for going out, right? Right now, it's like, you don't need to do that. Yep. It's all absolutely unplanned, and you think instantly like this is what you want, and impulsively you can buy anything, right? The world is changing, and what lends itself very well to India is because the geography dispersion in each city is very different, unlike US, where you need to I need to travel like 20, 30 miles, and you need to get something. But here, once I put a dark store, the clubhouse, right there, it comes out in 10, 15 minutes, and the labor cost is like very different here. So all of this makes it very unique for India.
So you are not it's not called dark stores, it's called clubhouses?
Yes.
I love that. That's cool. Who thought of that? That's cool.
It's
the same guy. The same guy definitely thought of that. Guy in the back.
I think this one I'll take the credit. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's cool. That's cool branding. I like that.
Yeah, FirstClub Clubhouse.
No,
I love it. Okay, cool. Let's you guys have 3,500 SKUs are currently on the platform. So I know you don't want to play favorites, but just really rapid fire Ayyappan. Recommendation wise, number 1 coffee.
Bilingu.
Number 2 cheese.
Eleftheria.
Let's go. Bread.
Members pick.
Chocolate.
Manam.
Biscuits.
Little Miss Cookie.
Sweets.
It's a tough one. We have a lot of good sweets. Punjab Sindh.
Punjab Sindh. Okay. And anyone have one that they want to shout out to that would be their favorite? What is that?
It's a bread.
It's a bread? Okay, cool. Anybody else? Okay, what kind of cheese is that?
Your mozzarella, your bocconcini, all of that.
Sounds good right now.
Okay, anyone else? Okay. All right, this is awesome. Bunch of brands.
So we kind of touched on this. This is kind of like hits home to me a little bit, but like obviously being a founder is hard. It's like, you know, I call it like it's a street fight every day. Like you're always like the underdog and you're always getting hit in the face and there's ups and downs and it's just pure chaos. And like I lost all my hair for being a founder. Like
Mine is
just
intact,
yeah. So
yeah.
you look good right now though, man. But like it's hard and it's like not pretty. But you know, I always have this. I had this quote when I was growing up, where I always say to myself like, why build someone else's dream when you can build yours? And that was just as a kid, like I just was always into that. And you know, for being a founder, you're an athlete. You've had these amazing roles at these companies that have changed the commerce space in India and beyond. Like, how do you keep going? Like, there's gonna be like FirstClub's gonna have lows. I'm sure you've had a lot of lows so far, and you've had a lot of highs. There's gonna be moments of, you know what, like, is this gonna keep going, or like, what is the light inside of you, or what's the fire that that makes you keep going? Like, what is it? The why? Is it like your family? Is it the team? Like what makes you just keep going, man? Because this stuff is hard.
Yeah. No, good question. It's a deep question and need to reflect on multiple aspects there. Firstly, I come from a very, very humble background. So whatever I have now, I've never thought of having. I mean, even if I had to dream that this is what I'll be doing, this is what I'll be having, I never thought of it, right? So to me, pressure is privilege, right? I think Billie Jean King once said that pressure is privilege. So you should be super privileged if you are under pressure, right? Which means that there is an expectation and you are in a space where you can do such things. Yeah. So it's so amazing that if you have pressure, so you should soak it all in. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, when I was deciding the space and idea, so I'm a lot more commercial, capitalistic in my thinking. My better half, my wife, keeps pushing me on the values part of it. Like, think of something massive where you can create that sort of legacy. So for her, this was very close to her heart as well. Like, you know what? Get good food to people, right? And she has been an organic food consumer for the last 10, 15 years. So for her, it's like there is nobody out there who is doing it, right? So if you keep a purpose and a vision which is massive, and you know that you are building something fundamentally right, I think those smaller moments of pressure, you would keep looking back at that larger picture and you would be able to drive yourself out there. So that's second. Third, and this is something that I would tell everyone, for a long period of time, I was thinking of building this alone. Then one of the investors gave me this brilliant idea that, you know what, don't even think you need to have a co-founder. So Arvind is my co-founder, and I would let him comment also after I have spoken about this, what he does to cope up with the pressure and cope up with me also. It's not easy to put up with me. So it's the co-founder and the founding team. Like I said, it's not very alien for me to work with this team. Because a lot of these folks have worked for a long period of time. So I can be completely vulnerable. I can go tell them like, hey, you know what? We did this and it's not working. What do we do together? So we have already gone through three such moments so far. And we are pretty transparent and open that way in discussing. And I think when you start discussing about it, when you start talking about it, you will be able to figure a solution.
Sure.
So yeah.
That's really good feedback. Do you feel like is there anything like non-work related that you do that like gives you maybe more energy or purpose? Obviously you said you work out and stuff like that, but is there a why beside, like, is there like a personal why? Or like you said, your wife eats organic food. Like, what I'm hearing is like, you're basically making Indians more healthy. And that is like if you're going to leave a legacy, man, that's like, you're making people healthy. That's like one of the biggest things you can do for people.
Yeah.
Does that drive you to keep going, knowing in the back of your mind that I am working on something that can make people's health way better, lifespan longer, happier, etc.? Is that like, would you also say a guiding light for you as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's bang on. So you can't, I mean, if the objective was just a few numbers when it comes to valuation, revenue, profitability, all of that, right? It always, you feel like you can do more. But when it comes to doing these things which are like fundamentally right, fundamentally good to people, right? Whether it's like 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 1 billion population, you would get the same joy when somebody comes out and tells you that, you know what, my life has changed because of this. And we are so early in our journey. We have like more than 10,000 consumers at this point of time. And the number of messages we've already received is like, oh my God, you know what? You made our life so good. You made our life so simpler. Now I don't need to worry about like what I'm feeding to the kids. It's so satisfying, and it sort of ensures that whatever pressure, whatever stress we had today, like just
like you're helping people.
Yeah, yeah.
I was actually, so we talked about this question off camera many times. We have a couple bets that we've placed. I think I know who you're gonna say, but who is your favorite Indian entrepreneur?
Okay, no, for me it would be Sachin and Binny Bansals. So they created, I think they created a series of startup companies post what they've been able to do. And I think to me, it's very clearly before Flipkart, after Flipkart when it comes to Indian startup ecosystem. So it's clearly them.
And just overall global Rushmore,
Yeah.
like just 4 entrepreneurs that you think have changed the world.
If I take a longer period of time, I think Horizon 1, my all-time favorite is like Steve Jobs. I mean, huge, massive inspiration with respect to what he has been able to do. Saul Price, Costco, right?
Yep.
I think he comes right there. Mr. Ratan Tata, I think he's one of the few guys who took capitalism and also nation first together in building something and for times to come ahead. So I think he's another person. And Henry Ford is a genius as well. So I think these are the 3 or 4 people. Elon Musk, yes, of course, leaving the few eccentricities out, but
Yeah, now let's look to the audience.
So we know Bangalore is a hub for startup ecosystem, and we have seen a lot of founders around us which start with their MVP but pivot before their reaching their PMF stage. So wanted to know from you, because your journey has really been very inspiring, the transition or some thoughts behind or your experiences when you realized at the moment when FirstClub was finally reached or got to the PMF stage and not just being a minimal viable product.
Yeah, so largely, I think you should be committed to the larger cause and larger sort of reason. So that reason was not, the day one, it was not grocery. The day one, it was not quick commerce. The day one was not even online. When we started, the first idea was like building a big box, very similar to a Costco, and then want to provide high quality stuff to people. Then as we started doing user research, it came out very clearly that for acquisition of consumers, the grocery is going to play a massive role. And the moment grocery was clear, it was obvious that you need to be on quick commerce as a channel. So if you marry yourself to the core problem statement, and then you're okay to change the other things outside that, you'll evolve very, very quickly. Rather than like sort of, you know what, I want to build something in quick commerce or I want to build something in grocery, then the iteration would happen at a later stage, which is not good. So doing the iteration as early as possible is pretty good, and that will come out from understanding of users and consumers a lot more deeply.
My question would be to Ayyappan, why FirstClub? Like, what made you think of this name? Like, where the idea came from?
Yeah, so we discussed debate. Arvind and I debated about several names on like what should this name be, and we didn't want to name it with a noun without a meaning, right? We wanted it to be something that it stands for, and we were very clear from day one that this is not just a one category platform that we are building. It has to stand for multiple categories, multiple products, but there needs to be that, you know what, I want to get associated with this. That feeling we wanted to create for the consumers. And when we thought about all of that, few names came in, and then when we tried it, it was already registered. Then we started picking up one fine day. I don't know where the name came from. I just went and tried with the lawyer that please register this name First Club. It was available. And we later realized like in some of the clauses it may not be, but in most of the clauses it was. And then we registered. Then we were clear that, you know what, this is the bang on name and this is what it should be. And the first denotes like, you know what, the first quality, the first set of products, the first flush when it comes to coffee or tea, what gets out of the farm, usually it gets exported. Actually, India produces amazing products. A lot of these first quality products go out. So the first came out from that. The club was like, we wanted to always build that membership where people need to like, you know what, need to pay and be part of it. It's a sort of coveted club. So that's how the First Club as a name came in.
That's cool.
Okay, so one question we get asked a lot when I tell people about what we do is, how are you going to scale with this? Because we handpick brands so that our delivery timelines, and we sell like a lot of short shelf life products. So from the supply chain is a very challenging thing for us to solve. So one question everybody asks me is, how are you going to scale to every other part of India with this?
Yeah. So I think the answer is on what we have been able to do already. I think we have taken the most toughest category and the toughest set of products that anybody would start their startup with, which is even within grocery, we went with fruits and veggies and we went with dairy products and breads. And all these products, not just as these category nuances, right? Even within the category, we were the first ones to say that we are not going to sell those products with artificial preservatives, which means that it doesn't come with 5-day shelf life or 7-day shelf lives. It comes with 3-day shelf lives, in certain cases 2-day shelf lives. And we have been able to crack it. We have been able to sort of figure out the supply chain with a very, very minuscule scale. Now, with more scale coming in, the kind of first mile and the middle mile supply chain that we'll be able to build is going to be massive. And nobody else would have thought of building, because for them, it's not the core part of the business. For us, that's the most important thing in the business. So when you try to do the most important thing in the business with such high levels of focus, there is no reason why you will not be able to crack it. And in India, I think this is what I believe, the elephant has started dancing. It's like the size is so big and it just started dancing. The next 10-15 years, the kind of category evolution that we are going to see, not just metro, but tier 1 and tier 2 markets, that's going to see the sort of explosion. Supply chain can be built. India has always been good in execution, and we would be able to do that. So I don't have any doubts in our mind with respect to scaling that.
Okay, Ayyappan, we have one last question for you. Dream ambassador for First Club, who is it?
I'll have to ask the superstar Rajnikant. So if he
Let's
is
go.
willing to do that for us. But on a serious note, I think the brand is needs to ooze the trust, authenticity, where it needs to tell people that, you know what, I completely believe in them. Because you can trust any brand when it comes to fashion, when it comes to home category, all of that is very different. But building that trust in a category like food, which you're going to put it inside your body, like you rightly said, the body is a temple, you need very different levels of trust to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe that trust can come in when we make the farmers, the people who are actually manufacturing, them to be the brand ambassadors than a typical celebrity out there who can probably sing and dance for us. No, I'm not sort of putting them down, but end of the day, they don't connect with the cause, right? Like it's good to get the eyeballs and impressions and all of that, but the authenticity and the trust and the belief can come when actually people who are creating out there can actually be your brand ambassadors. And our objective would be like manufacturers, brand owners, the farmers to come out there and say that this is the sort of blood and sweat goes into creating this product, and believe that these guys are actually getting these products to you. So yeah.
Love it. This has been an absolute pleasure. I mean, Herschel and I, we are so excited to be a part of your journey, and we will continue to obviously back you and help you in any way possible. But this is awesome. Like I said, the hair is standing up on my arms, but I am ready to see this company continue to grow. And you have a wonderful team and a wonderful culture. And thank you for being on our first episode. Looking forward to many more.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot for trusting us and investing in us so early. Means a lot. While people can always say that, hey, yeah, you know what, this person has come with this kind of an experience and all of it, but getting that sort of initial conviction, the money is a secondary part, right? I think, of course, capital is important. This is going to be a capital-intensive business, so I'll keep coming back to you guys as well. But that's the second part. The first part is actually believing, saying that, you know what, we believe in the same cause. We believe in that you will be able to believe in the space, you will be able to build in the space, and the space exists. Because You guys have seen what has happened in Costco in US. You're very, very closely connected there.
Yes.
Those moments of acknowledgement plays a massive role in building and taking that bet that actually, you know what, you're not crazy. You actually are talking logic, and there are people out there who believe in that logic as well. So thanks for trusting us very early into the journey and being part of what we are doing here. You guys have been massive support to us, and please continue to lend such support to many such entrepreneurs who are going to come out of India, and you guys will be able to build amazing startups together. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
really
that,
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That was a great conversation with Ayyappan FirstClub. He's building a complete rocket ship, and we are so grateful to be a part of his journey.
Like, share, and subscribe, and be on the lookout for more amazing episodes of the making of an Indian entrepreneur.